Welcome back to What Arty Noobs. This is an M53 M55, the Tier 9 American SPG. This one's located on the east spawn of Sand River and it's under the command of ProvoBob. Now he's got the 8-inch howitzer, and I know that because it's the short fat one that doesn't go over the end of the front of the vehicle. So he's capable of doing 1050 alpha, penetrating up to 52mm of armour, and with a burst radius of just over 11 meters. And there's another M53 on his team. That's the one with the 155mm gun. As you can see, that barrel does extend over the front, so that's only a 155mm gun. Okay, he's found his spot and he's aiming his first shot right for the other end of the map, up on the hill where the TDs normally go. He's almost loaded, 20 rounds to go. Is he going to fire? Rounds out in the bush. Well, disappointingly, it didn't disappear without an explosion. That would have been a nice hit on an enemy TD. But doesn't necessarily mean that he wasn't there. He might have been just behind the bush, in which case then he's probably splashed him. A couple of enemy tanks have been seen on the north edge of the map. That's the Centurion Action 10 and the Object 430. This is a tier 10 game with tier 9 tanks in it, so he's bottom tier in this game. But that does allow him to earn extra XP. His second shot's a blind shot near the cap area. And in fact, actually, I would say, as a matter of habit, enemy tanks tend to appear in that little spot there, right on that corner, a lot in games. I've noticed it happened. If you ever see those meta maps where you see where everyone normally goes, then that little spot on that corner is the one to pre-aim for, because that's where the enemy is first likely to be seen. And if you're dialed in on that spot, you're likely to get a lot of damage on the enemy. He's aiming for the 277. Finds that's where he's going to fire the round in, and he hit him. He got a direct hit, and he's now moving. Now, not really to avoid counter battery, but because there's only an IS-7 between him and those guys on the far west side of the map, and well, and a Strev, of course. And I think he feels that he needs to have a bit more protection, and there is a spot over here in the riverbed where he can get that protection. And that's where he's going. Or is he? He's going even further north than I thought he would. Now this is an area that you don't normally see Arty go to, and the reason is that you can't easily get shots up the river valley towards the enemy from this position, because the north bank of the river actually protects the enemy. It gives them automatic defilade. But of course he can get shots on the south side of the map. And there's the enemy. They've turned up an E100. There's the 277. Oh, he's down to half his health. So it looks like that shot, that blind shot he fired in, did actually do a lot of damage. Now wait for them to come together. He fires the round in, and 411 off the Leopard. But I suspect he did hit that 277 at the same time. At least he stunned him. Now, ProvoBob's actually on the Southeast Asia, or is it the Asia server? It's the one that encompasses Australia and New Zealand East, I think. So occasionally he does get bots. But on this occasion, no, these are not bots. And he's wise to move from his former position, because that's where the enemy's now arriving. And all they've got to protect is a T-30, and he's going to fire a round in that hits more than one tank. Yep, he gets double bubbled there. He hits both the Leopard and the IS-4. But I'm afraid that T-30 is now going to get overwhelmed. And there's not a lot he can do about it. And he's gone. And they're coming around the corner now where they would have seen ProvoBob, but of course he's nowhere near them now. He's about as far north as he needs to go. could go into the far northeast corner, but he's staying here for the moment. Fires a snapshot in that direction. Oh, direct hit. There was an enemy on the receiving end. He's going to back up and get closer to the pass, or is he going to turn? No, he's turning around to go into there. And you can see the M53 actually did the same thing. He's also come up this end. And ProvoBob's decided he's not going to go through the pass. Instead, he's going to sit here and use that rock for cover. And this is lovely because he can actually fire on that 705 from this position. No encumbrances or obstructions. Rounds out. Beautiful direct hit. Even though the guy's on the move. And the Striv's spotting for us. But Striv is in a rather precarious position. With 5 tanks down on the enemy, 4 tanks down on the enemy, 3 tanks down on the enemy now. Looks like the enemy's making a concerted effort to get to our cap and win this game early. I think far too many of our heavies went north when they should have gone west. E100's going down into that dip. ProvoBob fires around it. Oh, splashes in. 434. Good hit. The IS-4's come into sight. He's a one-shot kill. And he's just been wiped out by the M53. Object 277 is the next target, but we've still got 15 seconds to go. There are some teammates between us and that 705, but it'd be very nice to soften him up. Almost ready. Just at the base of his vehicle, that's it. Beautiful. 542, that was a big hit, and he goes down to a shot from the IS-4. Now, rather to spoil the party, a Centurion Action 10 has come into sight. And from where he is, he might be able to see ProvoBob if he comes around the corner. Instead, ProvoBob's focusing on the E100 near the cap. He's almost loaded. And he loses sight of that target. So he's going to go for the 277. No, the E100 is side on to us. He fires the round in at him and kills him outright. 360, that's his first kill. The 277 suddenly realises, oops, I should be in the cap too. I'm not sure if he was trying to get into the cap or if he was actually trying to get an angle on some of our teammates. Probably that actually, and trying to get behind cover of the dead tanks. Yes, he's using those wrecks for cover. And that's an enemy Arty shell hitting the rock face below. Rounds out. Oh, no, it goes long and only stuns the 277. Frustrating when RNG takes the shot away from the target. Now, I think actually the reason why ProvoBob hasn't been spotted so far is there is a rock between him and the enemy, and I didn't spot that actually. By going into the corner, he's actually put that rock between him and the enemies that have come up on that corner, but he might get spotted soon. 277, 342, dies to the M53, who's done another kill steal. And there's the enemies that are coming over the lip, and this is why I'm concerned that he might get spotted soon. Yeah, these guys are getting close. The M53's moved up through the pass now because he realises that, yes, they are just way too close. Trying to get the Striv. Of course, the moment he's spotted, yes, he has been spotted now. He's staying around. He takes a round from the 430, but he's going for the kill on the Striv. 450 hit points. And he's been hitting the engine. And yeah, the 430 gets him. Well, that's because he stayed to shoot the Striv. He collected those hit points. Took him over 3,000 hit points of damage, but it's now 4 against 9. Now it's 3 versus 9. The IS-4 doesn't seem to be taking part in the battle, but he's coming up behind the guys now. I'm afraid it's just the 2 versus 9 now. It's getting very one-sided. And the Striv comes up over the ridgeline. The IS-4 can't depress his gun enough to get a shot in. Should be able to now, but no. In fact, the Conway and the 430 are both having a go at him. He's going to take the Conway. Nope, failed to get it. And that's the end of his game. And in fact, they've got the M53, so that's all it. It's all over. Let's have a look at the end of battle stats. Well, it was a third-class tanker for ProvoBob in this game. He got a Bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. He got 10. And he got a Gore's medal for doing more damage, exceeding 8 times the hit points for his own vehicle. And a win rate of 4,163. But he couldn't hold on indefinitely because the enemy were getting closer and closer. And I did think that he was going to get spotted at one point by those guys coming around the corner. And they did see him eventually. So he was destroyed and the game is a loss. Let's have a look at team score. Well, surprisingly, he didn't get the highest... Well, he did get the highest damage in the game, but he didn't get the high caliber. 3,913 hit points of damage for ProvoBob. 3,663 was the highest that the enemy managed to get. And then their E75 got 3,630. Their 430 managed to get a Aslains. Their GW Tiger got a Confederate. But ProvoBob definitely got the highest damage in the game, but just no high caliber. And I can't believe that that's not 20% of the enemy hit pool, but there you go, that's wargaming for you. When it came to kills, it was shared between the M53, who did some kill stealing there from ProvoBob. 3 kills went to the Object 430 and the Conway. And when it came to base XP, it's the enemy team who did the best with 1,269 to the Object 430, 1,021 to the Centurion Action 10, 1,013 to the GW Tiger. And ProvoBob only got 527 out of that one. Yes, because he was on a losing team. But he was putting up a good fight as he went. And of course, the fact that he got the high caliber, or rather should have got the high caliber, showed how much he was working, how hard he was working in that game. And still no high caliber medal. 13 direct hits. 13 shots fired, rather. 5 direct hits. No penetrations, but 16 splash. Damage of 3,913 hit points, all of it at more than 300 meters. He received 2 hits, both from the 430, and they both penetrated and killed him. 7 enemies damaged, 1 killed, and 1,450 hit points of stun assist off 15 stuns. And he managed to get 11 defense points by resetting the cap when he hit the 100. On a premium count, he earned 47,924 credits. He got the Courageous Resistance reward. That's for getting an epic medal, the Gore's medal, in a losing or a drawn game. 5,588 credits for that. 53,511 credits altogether. And after repair and ammunition resupply, took away 14,197 credits in profit. 790 XP. 462 for Courageous Resistance, and took away 1,252 experience points altogether. So not a bad game, but again, it was a retreating battle all the way. In fact, you know, he had to make that early move when he realised that there was nothing really between him and the enemy along the south route. And it's a good job that he did move, but it was constantly having to retreat, because the enemy was just push all the way, and it was working out for them. I'm afraid ProvoBob's team just couldn't keep up with it, and despite the fact that he was firing those rounds in and got the highest damage, he couldn't stop the tide from coming in. So sadly a loss, but a good loss because he fought his way. If you enjoyed that replay, please give this video a like and do subscribe to our channel please, and thanks for watching.